Hi, let's take a look at some Marvel in-house print ads from 1978. House ads are basically ads that are created by Marvel for their upcoming comics and everything, etc. I don't know who the artists are for all of these, but they were all bullpen artists, and usually they were the artists that were working on the comics at the time. This one is a supernatural one. All of their horror titles are pretty awesome. This is supernatural sensations before they latch onto you. Here's the Tomb of Dracula, Lord of Vampires. So Tomb of Dracula is a pretty awesome comic. It ran for about 75 issues, I think. Of course, it featured the debut of Blade, who they wouldn't do anything with through the 80s and then revived in the 90s. This is a fantastic comic. It was very, very popular at the time, and there's all sorts of merchandise made for the Marvel version of Dracula. Of course, Ghost Rider. This is the Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider, the first one. Many people would probably say like the first one was the Western version, which was just a guy in disguise. But yes, Ghost Rider was a sensation at the time in 1978. Ride into adventure with Ghost Rider, the most supernatural superhero of all time. And of course, we've got Doctor Strange. Be sure to visit Doctor Strange, Master of the Mystic Arts. Fantastic art. I love the wavy panel breaks. Pretty cool stuff. Fear-filled fantasy from the Haunted House of Ideas. Next, we have a plug for Spider-Man and all his many titles. America's #1 superhero is now in 5 different power-packed comics each and every month. America's favorite superhero in 1978, probably Superman, but but Spider-Man was riding high on sales as well, and had cartoons coming out in the early 80s. Here's Amazing Spider-Man, Marvel Team Up, which was a Spider-Man team-up comic, much like DC Presents was a Superman team-up comic. Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, which eventually just became Spectacular Spider-Man. Marvel Tales starring Spider-Man, seemed to star Spider-Man all the time. And, of course, Marvel Comics' Spidey Super Stories, which was in conjunction with the Electric Company, while Spider-Man was making live-action appearances on that show, the first live-action Spider-Man. That was an easy read one. It was designed for little kids so that they can read a comic with like minimal dialogue, etc. All on sale now. And The Thing, the ever-loving blue-eyed Thing. It's clobbering time. And he isn't hesitant to say it here. Teams up with a new guest star each month in Marvel 2-in-1. So 2-in-1 was basically a Thing comic where he teamed up with a Marvel character. Don't miss the action and the senses-shattering excitement brought to you by Roger Sliffer and Ron Wilson. On sale now. And here comes Howard the Duck. May the farce be with you. Howard the Duck, trapped in a world he never made. And this, of course, Howard the Duck was created by Steve Gerber. From Playboy to The Village Voice, everybody is talking about Howard. But Steve Gerber and Gene Colan keep producing this monthly dose of madness anyway. So Howard the Duck was conceived as basically like just a rude Donald Duck. And now, when you see his comic appearances, he looks more like the movie version, just a weird, guy in suit thing. Here we have a quote from Stan Lee. Howard is a contemporary. He reflects the reader's anger and frustration, and maybe most of all his sense of impotence. The feeling that no matter what you do, things will keep on getting worse. Stan Lee didn't create the character, nor did he write him. I don't know if Stan Lee wrote the newspaper strip. That was something else that happened at the time. I don't know. It's one of these things where Stan Lee's just like inserting himself. If he did write the newspaper strip, then he has authority to say something about Howard the Duck. But like he's talking here as though like he created the character or something like that. Why wouldn't there be a pull quote from Steve Gerber? And now a message from Beverly Switzer. Get down, America. If your local newspaper doesn't feature the Daily Howard comic strip, contact the paper's feature editor right now. Demand your duck. Thank you. Yeah, so it was in newspaper strips as well. Probably not for long. And here we have Robbie Howard characters, all of which were licensed by Marvel to produce in their comics. Of course, Conan the Barbarian was a huge seller at the time, written by Roy Thomas. Also, Kull the Destroyer by Don Glenn and Ernie Chan. This version of Conan is the John Buscema version, not the Barry Windsor Smith, which started out the comic. Red Sonja, She-Devil with a Sword by Roy Thomas, and Claire Nodo and Frank Thorne, on sale every 60 days, so that's a bi-monthly comic. Yeah, all of these are awesome. I love the Conan the Barbarian comic. The magazine was awesome too, and would feature some more mature themes, but the Conan the Barbarian comic was no slouch. It was very violent. Conan was unmistakably Conan, great personality, great character. And, of course, Marvel produced Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle. I have all these Marvel Tarzans. There weren't that many compared to the DC version. It didn't last very long. Enter the strange worlds of Edgar Rice Burroughs. It's a trip you will never forget. Also, they produced John Carter, Warlord of Mars comic. This took place in the time jump of the first story. So in between those two paragraphs, I have this entire thing as well. It's pretty cool stuff. And here, Marvel is advertising Avengers and Fantastic Four, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Iron Man, Captain America, The Vision, The Scarlet Witch, Wonder Man, The Beast, and many more. And to the right, the world's greatest comic magazine that adorned the covers of Fantastic Four for like decades. Starring the Human Torch, Mr. Fantastic, The Thing, and the Invisible Girl. And this is one of those segmented things where in the middle it's like, get in on the Marvel Comics supergroups, on sale now. So to the left here we got the Defenders, the most dynamic non-team ever. And down below we've got the all-new, all-different X-Men with the cast of characters that people come to love. Cyclops, Phoenix, Storm, Wolverine, Colossus, and Nightcrawler. And to the right is the greatest superheroes of World War II, the Invaders, Captain America, the Human Torch, the original Human Torch, Union Jack, Submariner, looking younger there, eh? And Spitfire. And here is Marvel taking a dig at DC. DC had the DC Explosion at the time, which became the Implosion when they couldn't sell all the books they expanded. So here Marvel is sort of poking fun at them. Look out, world, it's the mighty Marvel Superhero Explosion. 5 all-new action blockbusters, on sale now. So it's Thor to the left, of course, Captain America and the Falcon to the right, Black Panther, Miss Marvel, Iron Man. Now more than ever, this is the Marvel Age of Comics. And that's going to do it for these 1978 house ads. I hope you enjoyed going through these with me. If you like what you saw, please give a like to this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Lots of great comic book stuff on here. So until next time, take care.